Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Good morning, student. I'm back with once again new topic and new day with full energy. I hope you are full enthusiastic to watch this current affair lecture. As I earlier mentioned that today is our day of polity and governance. So I'm going to discuss two topics regarding polity and governance. But before that, I want to convey one message to everyone. We have just left with 13 weeks only, 13 weeks for the exact mains preparation. So don't waste time, focus on studies and effectively use each and every minute of whatever the time you are devoting for the UPSC. Okay, because this is not the exam where you will have some relaxation or something. No, here you have to follow the procedure, you have to follow the journey, because at the end of the day, until and unless your name is not in that part UPSC golden list, it is very difficult to predict, say that you have written mains or you have written interview. No, you have to study and you have to effectively use your resources. And how to use resources? By using the smart tools. So our today's topic is same. The today's topic is how to use smart resources for governance, good governance. Okay, good governance. How this good governance we can achieve? Through e-governance. So might be you are getting idea that what topics we are going to discuss today, from e-governance to good governance. So our today's first topic is e-governance. This topic is directly mentioned in the UPSC GS2 syllabus. In this also governance part is there. Okay, in this also e-governance models, limitations and significance. Okay, so what basically e-governance means? As our honorable prime minister said, e-governance doesn't mean just digitalization of records. It means overall comprehensive use of ICT, use of technology for the effective delivery of the services. This is a just common definition of the e-governance. There is official definition given by the World Bank, given by Niti Aayog, but this is a simple definition you have to remember. And if you see the weightage for this topic, either 2025 in GS1 they asked the question on remote sensing and various technologies. Then in GS2 also they asked how ICT helps. This is the questions in 2025 and 2024, ICT, role of the ICT and in effective delivery. Okay, so this is the relevance for the this particularly topic is important for the mains and in prelims also. If you see 2024 prelims, there was one question on land records. Okay, land record scheme in 2024 prelims. Similarly, there was drone Didi, then Rashtriya Gokul Mission. Why UPSC asked this question? Because this technology means these schemes has been implemented, upgraded by use of ICT. How government is using the tools of ICT to improve the service delivery. This two Rashtriya Gokul Mission is 2025, then Sahaj Bijli Ghar Yojana. All these are questions have some relevant to the e-governance. Okay, so now we are going to discuss e-governance, its applications, its role, what are the challenges and what initiative government has taken in this domain. But why we are discussing this? This is the why in the news. The 20th National Conference on E-Governance 2025 began in on the September at Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. So this is why in the news. And if you see, these conferences are very important because they help to exchange the good practices, e-governance practices between the state, between the department, between the central department. So these conferences are important. So this is why in the news. As I discussed earlier, what exactly e-governance means. Use of ICT for the effective policy delivery, effective and transparent delivery. Now, why we need e-governance? Actually, this given the e-governance, but why we need e-governance? What exactly the reasons for e-governance? As initially I told, we need e-governance because we want to make good governance. Okay, so good governance. And what are the parameters of good governance? Parameters of good governance. First parameter is transparency and accountability. Okay, transparency, accountability, rule of law. Okay, responsiveness, inclusivity. World Bank ranked India in the 10th. This is just one, I'm just mentioning what exactly the, how transparency, e-governance, how promote the transparency. If you see the PM Gati Shakti is the best example from the government. B2C type of, here if you get the idea, the B2C transparency, PM Gati Shakti has improved the transparency and scrutiny of the particular government project. This leads to the effective delivery of the scheme, particularly infrastructure related scheme. Okay, PM Gati Shakti is just one example, but this is helping the improve the transparency and digitalization of record. As we all know, the RTI movement. Okay, RTI movement. And the next movement is next significance is accountability. How accountability we can ensure the accountability as a citizen or as a within the department. If you remember the Lokpal movement, is all about accountability of the government. Okay, governance, you can say the government. So e-governance help to maintain the accountability and integrity of the government. Okay, there is, if you see, our honorable Prime Minister always used to say that minimum government, maximum governance. This is the mantra. Okay, this is the mantra, and this mantra is based on e-governance. Now next is rule of the law. If you see e-code projects or digitalization of Supreme Court proceedings, or use of the ICT, use of the technology in the court to maintain the rule of the law. Even the police record, police grids, national means there is one national grid controlled by the Ministry of Home Affairs, which provides the entire database on criminal or offences. This helps to uphold the rule of the law. This is happening because of the use of ICT in rule of the law by law executive, law enforcement agencies. Okay, this is the second application. Why we are discussing why we need the e-governance. So this is the third application. Fourth will be responsiveness. Tell me one thing, if accountability is not there, government is not answering your questions, government is not transparent, working in the dark, then who will be responsive? How we can make government responsive? So this is the latter. First, government should be open, government should be accountable, then government should uphold the law, and with the help of e-governance. Now, if government is upholding the law, then how we can get to know that how government is upholding the rule of the law? That will be from government response. And this is easy, like particularly to help vulnerable sections, to uphold the, but best example is health sector, Ayushman Bharat scheme, National Health Mission, DigiLocker. Then if you COVID was the app. If you see, that was the response from the government. Then the central grievances addressal mechanism, or Umang app ensures the responsiveness of governance. Okay, responsiveness of government. Okay, so these are the applications means why we need the exactly particularly e-governance, why we need e-governance. Now in which domain we can use the e-governance, in which domain e-governance find the applications. So now I am going to discuss what exactly government progress and the domain. This is a simple the what initiative government. First is digital India mission. Digital India mission to penetrate the and increase the participation. Okay, to increase the participation, to penetrate the ICT technology in the rural and far-flung areas. So e-governance through digital India missions is improving the participation. So this is first initiative, digital India mission, transforming India into digital powered society. And this is just one. In finance domain, we all are using the UPI. What is UPI? Kind of e-governance only. UPI is kind of e-governance only. This is the best example. And not only in India, UPSC 2025 asked the question on which country has adopted the UPI system. Because if you see, there are around 20 trillion rupees transactions is happening through the UPI. So formalization of economy. So this is the one of the application, this is one of the domain where e-governance project, e-governance technology ICT is using, we are using. Okay, so this is the e-governance. Now other system, everyone is asking for delivery DBT, other system for the fertilizers, for the crop, or getting the old age pension, where everywhere we are required other, but that other is not in physical form, that other is in the digital form. So other is one of the best example of how e-governance can make effective inclusive decision making. Okay, this is the example. The next one, DigiLocker and Umang. As I mentioned, the DigiLocker and Umang. Next one is Arogya Setu. I have discussed this, how in health sector particularly the e-governance technology is helping to improve the health delivery and to improve the health inclusivity in particularly India. Okay, so this is the next example. Now GSTN business. Everyone, yesterday our honorable Prime Minister talks about the GST reforms Mahotsav 2025. That GST is whole GST infrastructure is based on ICT. That is a GSTN network. GSTN network. That network uses the ICT tools for effective tax collection, effective tax management, and effective collection of the revenue. So this is one of the application where e-governance is used. Okay, so this is one. Now if you talk about the governance to managing the governance, if you hear MCA 21, this is the corporate Ministry of Corporate Platform, regulate the RERA and other things. Okay, RERA is nothing but the property real estate management. But in real estate management also, government is using e-governance tools, and this is making government more transparent, more accountable. This is one of the domain where e-governance finds its applications. Okay, next one is e-NAM in agriculture domain. Okay, e-NAM. Then best one is PM Kisan. What is PM Kisan direct DBT? This is also one of the example of e-governance. Directly we are receiving money from the government without any intermediaries. That means how we are receiving that money, that is only possible because of the e-governance mechanisms. Once upon the time, our former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi said that when the central government is transferring at least 1 rupee from the Delhi till it reaches to the gully, it will take around, it will remain just 15 paisa. This is from Delhi to gully. This is the mechanism, and this was the corruption. But now see the PM Kisan. Around 11 crore farmers are getting benefit of the PM Kisan fund, that to directly just one click. If you see our honorable Prime Minister always used to say that this is a trench is coming, this installment in a year, two installment, there 6,000 they are getting. Okay, so 3 installment is 2,000 rupees. Okay, so this is happened because of the application of ICT. Okay, this is the one of the domain, agriculture domain. Now next one, digital India mission, empowering the, this is one of the example. Okay, this is one of the example where ICT found the application. Okay, now if, how you can write this thing in your answer. First one, like you have to just remember health sector, right? Health, agri, business. Okay, then inclusivity. Do mention this because social justice. How social justice? Accessible India campaign. Then effective delivery, Aadhaar. Okay, effective delivery to the farmers, particularly the ENAM, or here also you can mention PM Kisan and ENAM. So do mention the list of the corporate managing the real estate, making the top account open to the everyone. So do manage, like do mention all these 7 to 8 points in your answer when they ask and they talk about the applications of ICT in effective delivery. Particular economic domain they can ask, the political domain they can ask, but this particularly topic is given in the GS2. So if they ask GS2, bring the participation, bring the democratization, bring the accountability, and bring the all 7 dimensions of good governance. Okay, so this will help you to write a good answer. Okay, now if this is the thing, what exactly government, and these are the success story, what exactly this issue is, this much means good governance, a good idea, but what are the limitations of good governance? Can anyone mention the what exactly the limitations of good governance? And you can go through, these are the examples for your reference. Do mention this in your answer because this will give additional edge. Data is a fuel, as our honorable prime minister said, data is a fuel, and data similarly is a mark booster for our mains. Okay, if you write additional 1 or 2 points, see, best example I will give you. You are writing PM Kisan is one of the application of e-governance in agriculture, but at the same time if you mention PM Kisan, that to 11 crore beneficiaries, now just think which looking more attractive, which is looking more justifiable, which is looking more, you know the scheme also, and you have some idea, fact, information, data. That's why data is a fuel in our own answer writing also, in our mains. Okay, so just see PM Kisan agriculture, you can mention, but to get 0.1 or 1 mark extra, this 11 crore is more important, and this 0.5, 0.5, we always used to say that drop by drop we can make ocean, and this is possible, and 1 mark or 0.5 marks is very very important for our mains and for the getting good rank. Okay, this is the one of the I just want to mention, and do mention these examples. Now we are going to discuss what exactly the limitations of e-governance. E-governance, see, if any issue is there, it has some applications, and despite some application there are, and there always be some limitation. So first one is digital divide. Okay, digital divide, if you see the data I have mentioned, the exactly according to the trial, 44% is in the rural area and 72% in the urban area. This is just one example I'm putting, the digital divide between the India and Bharat. Okay, so this is the paramount and first issue limit, that limit the e-governance application in the rural area. The second one is cyber security. If you see certain report, around 14 to 15 lakh cyber security incidences are happening. Okay, this is the second limitation. And how this incidence is happening? Because of illiteracy, because of unawareness, because of the lack of knowledge, but how to use the technology. And ultimately technology is depend on the feed given by the human being. Okay, so we should not forget the human being, whatever the inputs is providing, that is going to means that is going to develop a new technology. Okay, new technology, applications of technology. So there is algorithmic biasness is there. If the best example is how one Amazon replace its human HR and use AI tool. I'm just giving one example how these algorithmic biases can hamper for the recruitment. Okay, in this, that HR even didn't recognize the person, a woman with a different color. So this is the one of the limitation of ICT, that is the digital sorry, that is algorithmic biasness. First one, digital deficit, digital gap between India and Bharat. The second one is lack of awareness. Third one is the cyber security and data privacy. Even though we have DPDP Act 2023, but still the cyber security is more prompt, and that can be seen through the certain reporting of the more than 15 lakh crimes incidences of cyber attack in India. Then now automatically the fourth come with the infrastructure, digital infrastructure. This is just internet, mobile phone connections. But if you see mobile phone penetration in urban area and in rural area is the sharp divide. Even the sharp divide not in the region, but this divide is in the between the Uttar Pradesh versus Tamil Nadu. Then this is just one regional. Then gender divide also. How many women compared to the male, their male counterpart using the digital phone. This also limiting the benefit of e-governance. Okay, so these are the points. Next one, infrastructure constraint and resistance to change. Recently there was one incident happen in Odisha chief secretary, Odisha government launched the AI technology in the governance and use of the AI technology. But what happened, most of the officers, those who were working in the Odisha secretariat, they were very award towards adopting the new technology. This is a bureaucratic mindset, so called the second generation bureaucrats. They were literally, they were rejecting the what he means particular the Odisha's chief secretary did. He himself took a AI training and he put the example, every president, everyone should do. So this kind of leadership we need, this kind of leadership we need. But the inertia from the bureaucracy is one of the factor which is limiting the implementation, means the adoption of the e-governance. And most of the 90% central government records are now digital. Okay, and but compared to the 60% of the state government. Okay, 60% of the state government. This is the very major issue. This is very major critical issue, because central government is adopting, but certain state are not able to that much, not aware about the digital technology. So there is inertia. Okay, this is a very major one of the major issue. So these are the limitations from the digital divide to adaptation and to the bureaucratic inertia. Okay, so how we can address these issues? These are the bridging the digital. What initiative government of India has launched to bridge the digital initiative? Digital India Mission. Okay, so Digital India Mission is a best example. Then India have launched the DPDP Act 2020, Data Protection Personal Data Protection Act 2023. Under that, the National Security Council, National Data Security Council, Government of India has established, and that headquarter in the recently only Government of India has established the Data Security Council, which look after the all cyber attacks happening in the India and the prompt action and recommendation. Even this is the one, and to awareness, promoting the awareness through the digital awards, promoting the recently first digital awards we have given. So these are the appreciations. Then certain bureaucrats should set up the precedence. The portion tracker developed by the Anil Malik or something, but he was the secretary, social justice secretary in the government of Haryana. So these are the best examples where exactly how the government officers can take a lead and adopt the e-governance project. e-governance in the administration. But even the second ARC, even the Rangaswamy Committee of 1972, they suggested that government should adopt the e-technology, because adoption of the e-technology is not only the need of an hour, but it is the necessity. It is a necessity for the particularly developed India by 2047. Even the accredited bank under the new education policy 2020. So all these becomes make it necessary for e-governance to be adopted. Okay, so these are the capacity building, training, cyber security. These are the way forward where we can address the limitations and we easily adopt the e-technology. Okay, now adoption of the AI and public partnership. These are the two examples. Even the most of the Tata consultancy services or the Infosys, they are providing the infrastructure for the backup to the government process. Okay, even the national NCT, National Informatics Center, that of government of India is collecting the data and protecting the data. Even the data protection, even the burden, the digital sovereignty should be maintained by the government of India to make the implementation of the particular scheme smoothly via use of e-governance. Okay, so this was our overall e-governance article. You can go through this. Now these are prelims, but most of the prelims question, if you ask me, they are based on direct scheme. Okay, direct. For example, Ayushman Bharat scheme 2022 prelims question, then Ayushman Bharat, then 2024 I discussed, 2025 I have discussed. So do remember the exact scheme and which technology used. Same approach you can use in your prelims also, mains also. It is just matter that how you are studying. So use one study approach. Now next topic I am going to discuss about how the particular things e-governance is just relevant, but one more topic of our today's discussion is about how this e-governance has revolutionized the government itself. But there are certain sections in the society which we call as vulnerable sections, and in vulnerable sections there are many groups. Okay, there are many groups, and this is a direct point mentioned in your UPSC GS2 syllabus. Okay, GS2 syllabus. Here, women, children, persons with special ability, then transgenders, okay, minorities, SCs and STs. So whenever you will study the vulnerable sections, do study about these sections. What exactly? Women, children, transgender persons, then Divyangajans, then minority, SC and STs. Out of all this, today I am going to discuss only one section because of this reason. Because of this reason, our Union Honorable Home Minister laid the foundation of the particular college in the Jodhpur. So, why we called as the person with special ability? Earlier it was called as the person with disability, but now after means particular this government has changed the terminology with Divyangajans, persons with special ability. So here today what we are going to discuss, who are the Divyangajans, their exactly data on them, what government has taken the initiatives, then challenges they faced by, then measures and way forward. Okay, now this is just one dimension. Now who are the persons with means Divyangajans? Individuals who face the physical, remember physical, mental, sensory and cognitive limitations, but possess unique capabilities and potential. This is the, and if you see there is around 21 this earlier it was 7 only. Now earlier it was 15. Now it is 21 disabilities given in Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2016. Okay, Rights of Persons with Disability Act 2016. The this disability is increased from 14 to 21. Okay, this recent amendment as done by the government, so disabilities increased from 14 to 21. And who give the certificate? There is disability commissioners. Okay, so there is a disability commissioners. And now who's are the disability commissioner? Now we are going to discuss data facts about global level. This is the number, and in India around 2%. But in 2023, World Bank said that in India this not only 2%, but these are around 10%, because this deficit of 8% is due to, the reason is exactly lack of record, because person feel stigmatized, person feel very I would say ki isolated, because if we say I have the disability, even one of my friend, he was hiding his stammering issue for long, and he faced exactly difficulty when he was in the UPSC interview. He was not able to speak properly and his speech was struggling. Then post interview he failed in the interview. Then he realized that this was his mistake. He was hiding his own disability, means he have the potential, but if he would have the opened this, I had a stammering issue, I have some issue, he would have cleared the exam. Okay, so and the reason is this 8% gap is stigmatization of our society, by our society, and own inertia. Okay, this is the reason of this 8% deficit. But in India the 10%, and in this also I would say 69% are in the rural areas, 56% are male. Okay, and there are different issues they are facing, particularly health related, food related, then poverty related, okay, education related. Now we are going to discuss what exactly the issues faced by the PW persons in various domains. Now if you see Paralympics, and the best example of this, if you see the 2000 Paris Olympic, okay, just a minute, who bought the, means who gave the more medals to India, our normal Summer Olympics or Paralympics? If you see, our Paralympians give 52 medals, okay, in last 3 games, compared to just 8 between of normal compared people. This is the thing. Okay, this is data is different, but Paris Olympics, our Olympians won the more medal than normal team. Okay, normal persons. Despite this achievement, despite this thing, who get more recognition? You can see the media, who get more recognition? The normal people. Simran Sharma, the best example is our athlete Simran Sharma. She used to struggle, she has visibility problem, and there are a number of the Simran Sharma. Personally, I followed her and I saw her struggle. Despite the visibility issue, she won the medal for India. Okay, she won the medal for India in running. This is their potential, this is their ability. I would say they have the special ability, not the disability. They have the special ability, they have the potential, they can do many things. Okay, but this is the means issues they are facing. Despite the good achievement, no infrastructure facility. Recently government is focusing on the Paralympics also, Olympians also, but education 40% dropout. Comparative, this is the persons with special ability person, and this is normal education rate. This is the gap. Now if you see the urban rural divide is also there, then employment ratio, who else give the employment? Only 34% person is employed, lower than the national average. This is the NSO data. Okay, and Overall, if you use 64%, 64% is normal and disabled. Only 34% of persons with special ability, they are employed. What about the remaining 66%? They are dependent on others, and this makes India's inclusive growth, India's dream of developed India exclusive. Okay, so these are the issues faced by persons with special ability in the two domains. Now third, I am going to discuss about their accessibility and everything, their accessibility. But despite this is a constitutional mandate, but education domain, health domain, then the basic requirement, basic sheltering, all these issues faced by the disabled person. And although although constitutional mandate is there, what is the constitutional mandate provided by the constitution? To uphold the inclusive idea, to uphold the dignity, that is article 14, equality before law. Then article 15, equality of opportunity in the education, and article 16, employment opportunity. Okay, so these are the articles 14, 15, 16. And if you know the article, person with liberty have full dignity in article 21. Okay, so basic right to life with dignified life. Are they living the dignified life despite constitutional mandate? I would say no. We have to stand with them, we have to take action. Now this under 51 article DPSP to make up a special provision for the persons with special abilities. Now these are the constitutional mandate, and these are the challenges with their employment and everything they are facing. So to address this issue, government has taken certain initiatives at a various level: institutional mechanism, legal mechanism, then the regulatory mechanism, and the certain policy initiatives like Accessible India campaign of 2015, which promote the government to take suo motu action to make accessible government offices and private offices for the persons with special ability. Then the person rights of persons with special right of persons with disabilities Act 2016. Okay, that act provides reservation to the persons with special ability in education and in employment. Okay, this is there is a national level commissioner for the persons with special ability, and the Ministry of Social Justice and Welfare look after the persons with disability sections. Okay, these are the persons with disability act, this as amended in 2016. And now constitution, as I have discussed, the National Institute, quasi judicial body, chief commissioner, PW, Accessible India campaign, I have discussed the Deen Dayal Upadhyay rehabilitation, and this is the central level scheme. Various states provide the variable devices, provide the some accessible, provide the fee concession in traveling, commutation, seat reservation. If you come across through the Delhi metro, you will get to know that there is a special reservation for the persons with special ability for the sitting. Okay, and this is only constitutional government has done. And if you see the duty of citizen under article 51G, they say that to respect the dignity and uphold the brotherhood, fraternity. So it's, as a citizen also we have the responsibility to support them. As a citizen we have to responsibility to stand with them. Okay, despite these many issues, despite these many initiatives, positive initiatives, there are challenges, there are issues faced by persons with a disability. As earlier I discussed, the social stigmatization, then the digital divide, then the digital lack of awareness, then the so-called ruralization of the persons with disabilities. These are the issues. So now we are going to discuss what exactly the issues and challenges. Accessibility gap, then unreported data. As earlier I mentioned, the official data is 2%, but World Bank is saying it is 10%. This data gap is there. Then the stigmatization, social barriers, all this shows that exactly what government is doing on the one hand and citizens are doing on the other hand, is there is a mismatch, and the exact beneficiaries are lagging, that are not getting the benefit of the particular government initiative. Okay, one more issue I just want to: healthcare gap and employment gap barrier, weak implementation of the policies. In weak implementation, generally if you see, um, except the Raju Chowk in the Delhi metro, there are many metro stations where there is no accessibility, no exact particular the pathway for the persons with disabilities. Okay, so what we can do or what government can do to make this vulnerable section more inclusive to take a part in and participation in the India's dream of developed India, okay, by 2047. So there are recommendations, there are policies which can help and which has been helping to improve the conditions of persons with special abilities. Now the first one is data census. We have PWD commissioner. We can here there is a NCBC, there is NCST. Why not the National Commission for PWs? There can be possibility national, there should be a national institute channelization, there should be a monitoring of the policies, there should be at a ground level state government should collaborate with the union government to make a policy and uphold the cooperative federalism, and that cooperative federalism will help to address the issues faced by the person with special abilities. Monitoring, digital accessibility, providing the wearable devices and providing the material they required, and first of all to avoid the PW situation, providing the healthcare facilities to the mothers. Okay, mothers means women who have conceived. Okay, so these are the from see prevention is better than cure. Post disability policies are there, but before the disability happen, government should uphold the Ayushman Bharat scheme like thing to avoid the disability itself, and the best example is Ayushman Bharat scheme. Okay, so these are the policies can reduce the persons with the disability. Once the disability happen, then also from the wearable devices for the corporate through the cooperative federalism and to monitoring, to providing the digital access, to providing the digital services, government can address their person challenges of the persons with disability. Okay, so these are the, and even the language inclusive the, if you hear about the Braille sign language, okay, and job opportunities providing them some, there are officers means those who are in the I remember the era single ma'am UPSC, even the ma'am was some certain kind of special ability, and ma'am cleared the UPSC 5 times, and era single ma'am was the topper of UPSC. Can you imagine? This was the potential persons with special ability have, and they can revolutionize the India, and they can not only Indian society but overall India, and they can make a nation proud as we have seen in the Paris Olympic Games. Okay, so overall this was the topic related with the persons with special ability, and earlier we discussed the e-governance. These both topics are related with the GS2 governance part, and every year there is one question on the vulnerable section and one question on e-governance. This year the vulnerable section was the children's. Okay, sometimes they ask women, sometimes they ask the persons with them senior citizens. Okay, so try to just make one more pager notes for each and every vulnerable sections. So, and just you have to mention two things. Let me show you, you can answer this question. Okay, just make what exactly the issue is. Okay, who is PW, then there will be the government policies, challenges faced by PW, way forward, and conclusion. You always make your notes in this manner, so this will be very easy for you to revise the thing before exam, and this will be the a, and don't forget to add data, because data is fuel not only for the Indian economy but for the aspirant to fetch a good marks. Okay, so data is fuel. Once again I'm repeating, data is fuel. In the same manner you can use this skeleton for any UPSC topic, particularly either in the GS1, GS2, GS3. Do implement this format for your answer writing, and even in the like while making notes also you can use this skeleton. Okay, challenges, what exactly the concept is, why we are studying that, why includes the significance, then what exactly the issue, challenges and way forward. Okay, so this was our overall discussion on the e-governance and persons with special ability. Okay, one more thing I just want to mention, like yesterday I came across the 2-3 aspirant and they were talking about the sir, prelims is very dicey, prelims is very dicey. So my point is this, even though prelims is very dicey, but there is certain pattern, there is certain things where we can use that pattern and themes which will help us to clear the UPSC prelims. Okay, and if you clear the prelims and if you have the ability to write answer in 3 hours, you will definitely get the interview call. Okay, so what exactly that pattern is? PYQ and current affair. If you see, most of the UPSC questions, they are coming from the either PYQ or from the current affair. This PYQ includes your static also, and the why PYQ? Because static is very huge, current affair is very dynamic. Okay, and in this current affair also exact 1 year back or 3 months back, this much current affair exact 1 year back. It doesn't include the last 1 year. Okay, exact 1 year back or last 3 months. And in PYQ, this include static also and include the current also, dynamic portion also. And in this same way, the Sankalp Sarthi mentorship program for the prelims, mains and integrated prelims cum mains is designed to help student aspirant to crack the UPSC prelims, particularly prelims, because prelims is becoming more dicey, prelims is more, and prelims is become eliminating factor. Okay, so if any one of you want to join particular initiatives, and one more thing, like yesterday I was one more thing I saw that how these questions are coming. There is one video on the Plutus IAS website. From there you can go, or anytime you can visit our center and see the exactly questions. Not only themes are repeating, but statements are repeating. The reason is this, because the Plutus IAS Sankalp Sarthi mentorship program is based on these two themes, and UPSC, if you see, each and every question is based on these two themes only. But PYQ, everyone will say how to study, study PYQ, but no one will say how to study PYQ. Even though certain people will say how to study PYQ, but not in that depth manner. But here in Plutus IAS, we are designing our test series on this line. We have designed our test series in this line. So those who wish to join Sankalp Sarthi mentorship, do contact us on the given number in the below box. And one more thing, the notes of this today's topics you will get below given below in the link. Okay, so thanks once again. I would say Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.